Hello, just a really quick reading. I'm sorry I've got like scruffy nails and everything, but I thought I need to talk to you today on the 6th of October because it's quite an important day, especially if you are Capricorn or you have um, like well, we all have Capricorn in our chart basically. We're all like ruled by all 12 houses. The planets move around the full chart, so depending on where the planets are at any one time. Oh, this is stupid. Hey guys, so this is just a really quick reading, hopefully really quick because I need to go and get my son from school, but it's the 6th of October and there's some interesting stuff going on with the planets starting today and for the next couple of weeks that I really need to talk to you about, especially if you're Capricorn, because my Capricorn babies have been going through it this last year or so. They had Jupiter and Saturn in the chart when I started doing readings. They have now passed into Aquarius, but this has left Pluto in Capricorn's chart. Now Pluto is a planet about introspection and discovery and really taking a deep dive. It's also Pluto is Hades, the god of the dead. Capricorn is the devil card in the tarot, so it's almost like Capricorn have been in this like double devil energy recently. Now I'm not saying that Capricorn are devils, quite the opposite actually. I think a lot of Capricorns have really been suffering over the past year or so. Now the reason for this is Saturn, which was in your chart last year, is a planet about tough love and hard lessons and working really hard. So you may have been very overworked for a start, but also learning some tough life lessons. And then the combination of Pluto and Aquarius and Jupiter all being in your chart at once, that is quite heavy. These are big, heavy, slow moving planets. They take 20 to 30 years to move around the full zodiac. So when they're in your chart, they mean business. Now Saturn moved on, but this left you with Pluto. Now Pluto in Capricorn it's really been forcing people to look at the structures in the life, things like family, the rules, society, things like this, even like buildings and who you share a home with or where you work, things like this, like society and structure. And the energy of Pluto is really kind of having a really deep investigation, so deep shadow work, really questioning your life. Some of you could have had like a full-on midlife crisis or something with Pluto being in your sign for so long, especially with Pluto being retrograde. Now when a planet goes retrograde, this normally means we have things from the past come back up. So people from the past could come back into your life. Things that happened in your past that you kind of moved on from or thought you'd moved on from could come back up for you. You could have a lot of memories of something. You could be really finding it very difficult to move on from things. So if this feels like you and you've been going through this, the good news is that today on the 6th of October, Pluto actually starts to go stationary direct, which means that it's going to go forwards again. And eventually in 2023, it's going out of your sign and into Aquarius. Now the forward motion means, I think, that those of you who did the shadow work, because this is what the planets have been forcing you to do, especially if you're Capricorn or your birth chart is affected by this energy. Sorry, just shutting the window while that car went past. So those of you who perhaps, the thing as well with Pluto, it can talk about life and death, right? It's death and rebirth. So even you could have had Capricorn as well can be about like rules and traditions and things like this. So some of you may have even been questioning your religions or, what happens after I die. Some of you may have experienced a loss and have had a lot of difficulty dealing with that. So these are like big existential crisis questions. This is not like, oh, I'm having a bad week because the sun is doing something in opposition to the moon. This is like really hard life lessons. This is like a couple of years worth of really thinking things through. Is this right for me? Is this not right for me? Big journey of self-discovery, probably brought on by tower moments and things falling out of your life. So those of you who have been going through this, the good news is that you're going to be coming out of it, hopefully. But this is kind of quite a key pivotal moment. This is where Pluto asks, did you really learn the lessons? We're moving forward, but how are we moving forward? Those of you that did the shadow work, that did the deep dive and really kind of like looked at the hard things that you had to look at, like it's almost as though this energy has been forcing yourself to see yourself really clearly in the mirror and really look at who you are, the mistakes you've made, you know, what are your ambitions, and like really, it's like identity crisis, like really looking at yourself for who you really are, and learning to love and accept your worst parts of yourself. So those of you who've done this, who really looked yourself in the eye in the mirror, saw yourself for exactly who you are, like warts and all, and learned to accept yourself, those of you who've done this work are probably going to move forward to a lot of good karma now. Anyone who's resisted it or fought it or refused to do the work is probably going to get really stuck in a negative cycle for quite a long time, sad to say. So I'm assuming if you're watching tarot card readings that you've been doing the work. So I think it's good news for most of you. We're moving forward. It's going to be good. We've done the shadow work. Things are looking up from here. So what also is probably going to happen is you're going to be put to the test a little bit. Now, specifically today on the 6th of October and tomorrow, some of the aspects that the planets are making in opposition with Libra could be talking about there could be disagreements over contracts, or it could be karmic contracts, or things that you're tied to legally. You could have kind of like a now or never, or make it or break it energy of kind of like, this is the time, I have to do it now. There could be a lot of opinions of other people coming up right now where people don't understand what you're doing, or you're being misunderstood because Mercury is going backwards in Libra, so that means misunderstandings are likely. Now, you may be saying, I'm not Libra, I'm Capricorn, because this is intended really for people who have strong Capricorn in the chart. It's because the planets are creating a certain energy, a certain push-pull between these two signs at the moment. So that's why I'm talking about Libra, even if you don't have Libra in your chart. It's because the planets are creating these kind of networks. So watch out for high tempers now and for the next few days, especially because really you just have to keep calm, keep grounded, kind of be the calm ship in the ocean, right? And not let those waves batter you. You know, walk away from arguments. Now is not the time to try and discuss things, because it's probably not going to. There's going to be trouble understanding each other, so it's better to kind of like take a step back, let bygones be bygones, and kind of try and do something different, and just keep calm, keep centered, don't lose your cool. Another good thing is that I think Saturn, has been going backwards, and I can't remember, it's either the 10th or the 18th. This is also going to start moving forwards again. So it really is this energy of like shit coming up from the past that's been going on recently. So yeah, absolutely. The next couple of weeks in astrology are going to be really big. And also you're going to be wanting to look at February 2022 as well. That's also going to be quite an important time astrologically. So now and February, big stuff going on up in the skies that's going to be affecting everybody. So I'm seeing the Bardo and Apocalypsis. We'll just put those away. I didn't actually ask a question. So what I want to know, just quickly, just to get you a little bit of advice, is because I remember Capricorn's reading tomorrow on Thursdays. I can't remember the details, I never can after I've done a reading, but I just remember talking about Pluto being in his chart. So I wanted to give you a heads up, really, and especially because it's moving direct today on the 6th, it's important to talk about it today. So please can I have a card to help my Cappies, or people with strong Cappy in their chart who have really been going through this. What do they need to know at this time on the 6th of October as Pluto goes direct? Please can we get a card to help us understand what's happening? Now, it's not coming out. Oh, it is coming out. Eros. I was just going to show you what card it was, and it has come out. Eros, the diamond. So the diamond has been coming up quite a lot as a kind of keystone. I've got a reading, so Tell Me Anything reading. I think it's only got one view, but it was about heraldry and keystones. And the diamond, again, this thing about Libra and Capricorn, it's like the diamond slotting it into place and being turned. So that's reminding me of that. Anything else, please, as Pluto goes direct? Do we need to know anything else, please, as Pluto? I'm not taking that many cards. As Pluto goes direct, there we go. We'll take the unseen and Gnosis. So this is like a deep, profound revelation or truth. It's knowing and not knowing, and accepting that there's some things that you just aren't going to get the answers for. I did a reading about this as well. I think it's called like a deep, profound truth or something, if you want to go and check that one out. And the unseen. So it's interesting, we've got an eye and a mouth, like these facial features. that could mean something to somebody. I tend to see, rather than seeing a whole face, I tend to really focus on the features. So that could be something that you also do. Let's have a quick look at what these mean. Again, I do have to keep an eye on the time. So it's actually going to be, hopefully, a quicker reading than usual. Eros, lover's desire, eroticism and sensuality. Oh, the one thing I forgot to say was that I think Pluto and Saturn have been teaching you what doesn't work for you, right? What's keeping you trapped, what's keeping you small, what you need to let go of. I feel, my personal feeling is that as Pluto starts to move direct, if you've been affected by these energies, you're probably going to find that there's something that you need to release. Now, this can be an idea, it can be a person, it can be a situation, it can be some sort of concept that doesn't work for you anymore, but I do feel like it's time to let go of something as we move forward. And I think this is going to open up the space for new relationships and new things that you enjoy to come into your life. Eros, lover's desire, eroticism and sensuality. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. So maybe this is the shadow work you've been doing. What do you desire? Why do you desire it? Is there something that's missing from your life, or missing, is there something that happened in your past that makes you desire a certain thing? There's a lot of things. If we question why we want something, I think it tells us a lot about ourselves. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart. Honest heart, Libra diamond heart, right? And remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led towards its center. When light, passion, playfulness and sexual health. When dark, madness, projection and obsession. Go deeper. Love Sonnet number 11 by Pablo Neruda. Basket of Figs by Ellen Bass. The Hindu goddess Lalita, she who plays, can help activate Eros energy. She is also known as Kami Shivari, Empress of Desire. So again, very, very Libra energy here. Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love if it is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. Okay, so definitely the topic of desire, lust and love, the difference between the two perhaps. What do we desire? Why do we desire it? How can we have what we desire in healthy ways? And how do we move away from the things that we desire that don't suit us and don't serve us? The unseen, the spirit, the ancestor, the eternal. The unseen is just as it sounds. We cannot see it, yet it sees us, watching and waiting with wisdom, both kind and instructive. We feel this presence, sense it, intuit it, and then doubt its existence, although it rallies our attention time and time again. Sorry, I'm laughing because I had a message in one of the readings for Cappy, and I think it was for Cappy. It could have been a Tell Me Anything reading, but it was basically like the lesson that this person was learning was how to find that unconditional love within, unconditional love for the self, and unconditional love from the universe within, right? This was something somebody was learning to do, allowing themselves to feel it, I feel. The energy of the unseen may come in many forms: a compelling dream, a sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision or a message from a loved one who has passed to the other side. It is natural to fear these communications as they challenge our perception of what is real. When this card appears, your guides are near. The eternal is present. The doorway between worlds is ajar. Listen. The sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from your innermost chambers. Now, just with the kind of madness here of this card and this... perhaps somebody's hearing voices. Like I hear voices, I channel messages. I truly believe that they're coming from outside of me. I questioned if I was mad for quite a while, and no, I've had too much evidence that the things that I get through intuitively are are true and genuinely do predict the future. Because, for example, I did a reading in advance for Leo about somebody having a bad back. My attention was drawn to my backbone. I was saying somebody may have a bad back. They may be careful if you're lifting weights, and somebody injured the back through lifting weights on that day. And the other day I was there's just too many things, too many examples for me to go through when I don't have the time to go through them. So we'll keep moving on. But somebody else may be having the same thing. It's like I feel like I can hear the voice of my ancestor talking to me, and am I going crazy? Is this real? I've got a lot of evidence that it's 100% my belief that the soul lives on after the body passes away. 100%. Like, I've got too much evidence to support that theory at this point, and it's not just my experience, it's the experience of the people around me as well. So to me, 100%, when we die, our soul lives on. 100%, our people, like our spirit guides talk to us. There's more than what we perceive in the 3D reality. I 100% believe that now. Before all this started happening to me a year or so ago, 2 years ago maybe now, I wasn't sure. I was open. I was like, I don't know what's real. I don't know what's not real. I haven't got the evidence. I've been given the evidence. I want to say. So again, everybody has different beliefs, and it's not for other people to tell other people what to believe. My personal belief is 100% that there is an afterlife, that the soul lives on after the mortal body decays, and our ancestors and spirit guides are with us when we call their name. They're there for us to call upon them, right? So yeah. Someone else could be going through something similar where they're doubting themselves. When this card appears, your guides are near, the eternal is present, the doorway between worlds is ajar. Listen, the sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from your innermost chambers. When light, clairvoyant guidance, whispers of wisdom. When dark, dark looming energy, unwillingness to forgive. Go deeper, King Hamlet, the three fates, the shining. Guidance comes in many forms. Don't expect it to be glittery or comfortable. Hello, Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. The spirit world speaks the truth. Sometimes it soothes and sometimes it burns. Being graced by the unseen is a gift. Treat it kindly. Allow yourself to be seen by eternal eyes. So, yeah. Universal love, right? Universal love, spirit, love in spirit. It's been coming through a lot in my readings this past week or so. I'm definitely getting stuff about Orpheus in the underworld and other heroes of classical mythology going into the underworld. I was getting stuff about Hercules going into the underworld today. One of the songs that I actually randomized this morning as I was kind of preparing to do your reading was Sympathy for the Devil. Now, as I say, Capricorn is the devil card in the tarot. It doesn't mean that you're a devil. It just talks about shadow work and things that you're chained to. And Pluto is Hades, who was the god of the underworld. So I'm really getting this thing about, obviously the Christian devil is like the boogeyman, right? Kind of things, like the scary thing. Classical culture had a very different attitude towards the ruler of the underworld, like Hades, Pluto. He was a much more benevolent figure, a much more kind figure. He just had a job to do. And I'm not going to go into that too much, but in Hercules' experience, he went down to the underworld. He said to Hades, like, right, look, dude, I need to get this dog. I need to get Cerberus back up to the overworld. It's one of my challenges. And Hades was like, cool, dude, just, if you can wrestle him with your own bare hands, you can take him. And Hercules did, and fair cop, so he was open to negotiations, basically. He wasn't a big bad guy. And Hercules eventually returned Cerberus unharmed, and put him back where he's from. So it's almost like a gentleman's agreement. So this sympathy for the devil is like understanding why people do what they do, and perhaps that's part of this thing about forgiveness. I don't know. I'm spitballing, right? What else did you have? You had something about Persephone as well, though, about how Hades, his consort was Persephone, and I was struck by the likeness of the High Priestess card. There's pomegranates and things on the High Priestess card, talking about Persephone's ability to be in both the 3D world, tangible reality, and to be able to visit the afterlife and return. Very few characters went into the afterlife and returned. So there's something about this coming through for you. Now, how that applies to your life, I don't really know, but they're things for you to consider, maybe to look up, maybe to Google. I'm just going to have a quick check of the time. Okay, got a few more minutes yet. So, I actually want to go to this deck next. So can you tell me about Eros, please? Anything about Eros? The Ace of Swords. So there is some kind of truth. Perhaps you're going to find out a truth about somebody that you love, or your feelings about something. There may be some kind of truth or news or communication about desire. Tell me about the unseen. Oh, look at that. Literally unseen. Now, I had this card out the other day, and I swear it actually came out for Capricorn. For this thing about almost like a cold heart space. It's like something had hurt somebody emotionally and they'd completely shut down. It's like they were empty, they were void. I think it actually comes through again in Capricorn's reading. I'm getting it quite a lot at the moment. Page of Cups. It could be an apology or some kind of love offer. Notice though that this is a siren and there's kind of skulls around this person. So I feel like this is talking about fear. Now, the thing that you may have to let go of is fear. The devil can represent our own fears that keep us stuck. It could be that somebody is afraid of opening their heart because they're afraid that they're going to get tricked by some sort of siren figure, possibly. Now, but I'm getting this with the unseen, and like literally this person's kind of like their body is kind of see-through. And then notice like the strange colour of her eyes as well. There's something about being unseen. Now, it's almost like, you know, in Harry Potter, you know, to cheat death, you have to have the three, I can't remember what they're called. It's like a wand, the cloak of invisibility, and like a stone or something. I can't remember the three things. It's been a while since I watched or read Harry Potter. But this cloak of invisibility to defeat death. Don't know if somebody's got this idea about defeating death somehow. Or being unseen. And the Page of Wands is somebody who's learning about the things that make them passionate. So it's like somebody wants to, there's a truth being spoken, or information coming, news coming, or somebody's going to have a moment of clarity regarding some kind of experimenting that they're doing, or some exploring that they're doing in regards to the things that make them passionate. But it's like they don't want to be seen, they don't want to be observed. All right, let's go. Tell me more about the Ace of Swords. There's the Daughter of Wands again. This is the same card. Page of Wands is the same as the Daughter of Wands. And a truth being spoken about somebody's passions that they've kept hidden, and it could create quite a lot of conflict. It could also create some kind of separation between two people. It's like a bond being cut, right? There is happiness though. This is happiness. Somebody's moving towards the happiness, going for the things that make them passionate. But speaking this truth and coming out of the shadows is going to create some kind of break in a relationship. Tell me about the Page of Wands. Father of Cups. Yeah, somebody has a huge amount of love here. Like real, like deep emotions for something. And this isn't lust, this is love. This is lust, this is love, this is love. But again, passion, desire, and love are two flip sides of the same coin. Right, strength there as well. Okay. And the Sun, double Leo energy there. This, yeah, definitely something that makes somebody passionate, makes them feel confident. There is something about independence and freedom here with this Nine of Pentacles too. Just to run through the things that I've got for you that came through intuitively. I had a dream about this room. It was between two staircases. It was kind of like this higgledy-piggledy house. So the room wasn't where a room should be. It was kind of between these staircases, and it was like in between floors. So it was like this, almost like a hidden room. That could mean something to somebody, I don't know. But then I woke up with a song in my head. I hear songs sometimes. I just hear songs. Sometimes they're songs that I know, sometimes they're songs that I don't know. It's really frustrating if I don't know what the song is and I can't find it. But this song I did know, and I played it through in my head a little bit until I figured out what it was, and it was Fake a Smile by Alan Walker. Now in that song he does talk about like something about a house being on its side or something. So there's something about like a house or the way a house is built. It reminds me of that house in America. Now, there was a lady who went crazy, I think after her husband died, and she was a billionaire. She had a lot of money, and she made this crazy house where it's like the corridors went really narrow, and stairs led to nowhere, and doors opened to nothing. And it was because she was trying to confuse the spirits. So there could be something to that if you wanted to look that up. I also got like it was like the sound of something dropping into water with a like a plop, and then I was shown, so I assume this is what fell into the water, but it was almost like a coin, like a copper coin or a medal or something, and it was bent, and then I could see very, very, very clearly the number, the date, 1959. So I don't know if that any of that means anything to anyone. It's just that thing about did I say something about coin? I don't remember what prompted me to tell you all that, but that's all there. Somebody could be leaving a relationship, finding the strength to do something, finding the strength to be independent, to go for the freedom. Very deep emotions here. Okay. Tell me more, please, about the Daughter of Wands and the Five of... That's quite a lot. I'm not going to take that many. Tell me more, please, about the Daughter of Wands. Thank you. Again, unbelievable. You've got this same card 3 times. Daughter of Wands, Daughter of Wands, Daughter of Wands. Now, this could be a child. It could be a young person who is a fire sign. Doesn't have to be. Specifically, I would say it was Aries or Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be, but you've got Leo here twice. So three cards here about the Daughter of Wands. And then 2 cards here about Wands energy, fire energy, or a lot of fire energy, a lot of passion. I need to get this nature of this Daughter of Wands. Whatever it is, it keeps saying it 3 times from 3 different decks. You've got the Daughter of Wands, the Messenger of Fire. So we're going to have to figure out what that is. But again, basically, the pages are the page, the messenger, the daughter is all an energy of, doesn't even have to be a young person. It's somebody who's figuring things out. It's kind of like the student, the planning stage. So this is a plan or an exploration of passion, of fire energy, of creativity. Very, very creative, this one's energy. Tell me about the Father of Cups. Could be a father and daughter, but it doesn't have to be. Father of Cups. Father of Cups. 5 of Water and Patience. So the Father of Cups, the King of Cups, does have a lot of patience. This could be a Scorpio, doesn't have to be. This is also Sagittarius. The Patience card is actually the Temperance card. It talks about balancing out your passions and your emotions, figuring out what's passion, what's emotion, how do I balance these 2 things? So love and passion, love, water and fire, emotions and passions. Now, it comes after some kind of emotional loss. The 3 of Water is crying over spilt milk, something that was very emotionally disappointing, something didn't work out. It could be like friendships who were lost, or a lost love, or it's basically just too much looking at the past and not looking towards the future, because normally there's 3 cups that are spilt indicating relationships that didn't work out, but there's 2 cups standing. Now the 2 cups that are standing are kind of like the perfect relationship, whether that's friendship, business partners, or a romantic interest. The 2 cups are a good relationship that's waiting for this person to get over some kind of past upset or trauma. The Patience card tells me that, now, this could all be the same person. We've got a Page of Cups and 3 Pages of Wands. This is someone immature in love and immature in passion. So it could be that a waiting period, somebody grieving, perhaps this can be a card about grief. Somebody who has been through this process here. It has kind of taught them a lot about their own passions and the things that they love, and it's actually bringing them into a much more mature energy. It's almost like having to wait, it could be like lockdown or something, having to be patient, having to go through this period of Pluto Rex, Pluto in retrograde has taught this person how to not be immature, emotionally and passionately immature. They're now patient, they have deep emotions, and they have self-control, possibly. Tell me more about patience. Queen of Fire, yeah, absolutely. Somebody's maturing here. The flame that burns very brightly, I'm hearing, with this Queen of Fire. This is somebody who's confident, magnetic, attractive, bold, ambitious, very, very creative, very warm to be around. You know, you look at this lion with the rose in its mouth and the Sun card here. This talking about passion, it absolutely feels like somebody's journey, or your journey, Capricorn, possibly has been a journey about finding self-control, not doing things because it just feels right in the moment, but doing things because you've thought long and hard about it, and because it's the right thing to do, and because you've made a mature choice, rather than just I don't know, jumping into bed with people because it felt right in the moment, or, you know, eating a lot of cake because you wanted to eat a lot of cake, or, you know, drinking because you felt like it. These characters all do things because they feel like it, and because they're experimenting, because they're figuring things out. By the time you get to the Queen and the Kings, they've figured out these things out. They've made the mistakes. They've tested things, and now they know what they want. Much more mature. So I do feel like this period has been a period of almost like being forced to put on brakes, forced to, again, it could be COVID did this for you. Again, you've got the Nine of Pentacles here as well. These are both cards about being independent. So some of you could be either about to be single, either if in business or in a relationship, or you have been single. And it's almost like this period of being single perhaps has made you feel really quite frustrated, but it could also have taught you a lot about self-control. So it could be that you used to be on dating apps all the time, hooking up with people left, right and center, right? Not really finding any fulfillment from that. Now, Pluto, when Pluto's in your sign, or he's doing something in your chart, it means that you want things that are deep and meaningful. You know, quick hookups, quick, you know, friends who fuck, that's not going to be it for you when Pluto's in your chart. You want connections that actually mean something. You want deep connections. You want people who you can talk to about life and death stuff, you know. You don't want people who, I mean, this is a very, very playful energy, and it could be that perhaps you're getting back into a more playful energy, but it feels more that you're maturing, you know what you want now, and you don't want surface level bullshit. They're giving me I don't know if it's Rita Ora. It's a cover she did, I think, of I don't know if it's like a Biggie Smalls song, but it's party and bullshit and party and bullshit. I don't think you want to party and bullshit anymore. I think you want something serious. I think that's what Pluto and Saturn have done for you. It's made you grow up. So what do I want to do? Do I want to call it there, or do I want to get you an advice card? What am I feeling? What I feel like I want to do, because it came out 3 times, I feel like I really want to read these daughter or messenger of wands cards and see what each deck says about this, so you can understand this energy better. I don't know if this is you or somebody around you. Obviously, take what resonates and leave anything that doesn't. A night to begin again. I love beginnings and new adventures. I love life. I love nature. I love freedom. I love variety. I love bringing some unexpected but welcomed news. Unexpected but welcomed news. Maybe I'm a bit inexperienced, but who cares? Enthusiasm is my wisdom, and I will grow. And my will to grow makes me spark. I don't fear dark forests. They're part of the way, no big deal. I know that I can trust my inner power. You should do the same. Start afresh. Don't fear the night. Protecting elves will always be at your side. I know they will. The world needs your creative ideas, don't you see? So be spontaneous and sure of yourself. Don't waste too much time on making useless plans. Follow your passion and hit the road. Keywords: fresh new start, great potential, enthusiasm, spontaneity, good news. I feel like that's it. Right, let me get some advice from this. Oh my god. The Lover's card. Maybe you want to party in bullshit, I don't know. Maybe you've been too serious with Saturn in your chart. But I don't know, I get the feeling with Pluto doesn't want shallow things. Pluto wants something deep and meaningful. It's scorpionic energy. It's like connections that help you explore yourself. It's not like, hey, you're cute, want to spend the night together and never see each other again. This is like, if this is a connection, this is like I always think this is like Kylo Ren. It's like you know, in Star Wars, Kylo Ren and Rey, they have that kind of like psychic connection. It's like that's what you're looking for, you know. Love is always a choice. Look at us. The bond we have is eternal. Our love is altogether emotional, spiritual, and sexual. It's the deepest love ever. Yet it is a love we fought for. Choices had to be made, and it is your turn now to choose love and to fight for love. You have, as we had, to be clear about your own values and to stand for them. No love is ever possible if you are not true to yourself first. If you are facing a dilemma, honesty is the only way to get you through the shadows of doubt. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of doubt, for the decision you'll make is to be essential at this point in your life. Exactly. That's why I feel like this is why I had to do this reading. I feel like you've got a decision to make and it's essential for your future. It's like, did you learn the lessons? Never forget, there are only two paths. One is wrong and the other one is love. I love that line. Never forget, there are only two paths. One is wrong and the other one is love. Special bond, attractiveness, soulmate, choices, being true to oneself. And I, as a romantic-hearted Libra, I'm going to leave it there because that's beautiful. All right, I think the choice is clear, right? You know what makes you happy. You know what you're passionate about. You know where your love lies. So Capricorn, have you done the shadow work? Pluto's about to ease off that break. And I think that you need to make sure that you choose wisely, in the words of the old guy from Indiana Jones, and choose your heart. The choice is simple. Every other choice is the wrong choice. All right, take it or leave it. You know, if it's not your reading, it's not your reading. But if it's resonating, there you go. That's what Pluto direct wanted to tell you today on the 6th of October. I love you all. Do take care of yourselves. I'm going to go and get my son from school, and I will see you again soon. Oh, I love that. Like, oh, it's perfect. Right, bye.